What is programmatic advertising?
Well, first of all, programmatic advertising is a term that's just burst into the mainstream over the last several years. So you're certainly to be excused for not having a great deal of expertise. In fact, I think that there is a lot of misunderstanding about what it is. But for purposes of illustration, I would say 5 years ago, almost none of the ads on the internet were bought and sold programmatically, whereas today, in 2015, I would argue upwards of 80% of the ads on the internet will be bought and sold programmatically. So what is this thing? Programmatic is actually about the application of technology, the usage of data, the usage of algorithms and machine learning. And
robots. We're talking robots. Please use the term robots, because that I can get to grip with.
Robots you prefer?
Yeah.
Applying that toward the archaic, or formerly archaic, process of buying and selling advertising. There are always going to be people who say that human judgment is what ultimately is going to allow you to decide where that commercial should run, where that TV advert should run. Our belief, and increasingly where the market is voting, is with the idea that actually you can leverage data and analytics and intelligence to assist with that decisioning. It's not just that there's an opportunity for publishers and brands if they embrace this new technology. It's also that they do face existential threat if they don't. Because you do have these large Silicon Valley companies like Google and Facebook who are building massive programmatic businesses, and ultimately what they would love to do is suck the core competency out of traditional advertising companies and centralize them in their organizations. And I do think that giving up the competency of being able to buy and sell ads in a very contemporary way does pose a long-term challenge to the viability of the independent publishing industry and advertising.
Should content owners, big newspapers, TV stations, be worried about this? Is this going to be a way of basically bringing them lower rates?
It's now absolutely an inevitability, and every premium publisher today sells advertising programmatically, full stop. And not only that, but for 3 consecutive years, we've seen premium publisher rates programmatically increase year over year, to the point now where there's almost parity between the ad rates generated through a programmatic or sales channel versus a human sales channel. And I think that's going to have a profound impact on the way that media sellers conduct business moving forward. I think that the principle of technology and automation fundamentally is anything that can be automated over time will be automated, and humans will be continually pushed to add value in ways that only humans can, leveraging creativity, insights, and things that the machines and the computers can't fundamentally do. And I think that's where we're seeing sales forces being pushed today, is to think bigger, more innovative, more integrated, and I think that ultimately is something that's going to drive publishers to think more creatively about how advertising fits into their mix.
What about the balance of power in the media world? I mean, we're hearing a lot today about just how powerful Facebook is in particular, and Google, and the struggle of older media platforms to make an impact there. They're obviously going to have to embrace this, but they're going to look at it and say, this is probably going to widen the gap, isn't it?
Well, I think that there's no question about it, that the Silicon Valley giants, Facebook and Google, are continuing to amass market power. And I think that is tremendously concerning to the independent publishing community. I think the announcement today about Pangea is a brilliant decision, and it is clearly a response to that continued aggregation of market power. It's difficult to function and compete effectively at a subscale level. So I do think you'll see more and more alliances between parties that may have traditionally considered themselves purely competitive. And I think we're going to continue to see that trend over time, both among buyers of advertising and sellers of advertising. I also think that, ultimately, if these companies are successful in their mission, they'll suck a lot of the value and core competency out of the independent publishing community and into their organizations. And I do think that that is a threat to the long-term viability of these industries. And that's why I think that the move today is such a smart one. You know, ultimately, I think, you know, these Silicon Valley giants really see the internet as their Christmas tree and everyone's business as one of their ornaments. I don't think that is the vision of the future that is ultimately what people in this room want to see. I don't think that's the vision of the future that's the best thing for our society or the best thing for our democracies.
Michael Rubenstein, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.